Lim Guan Eng, former Member of Parliament for Kota Malacca, former DAP Deputy Secretary General and DAP Socialist Youth Chief, was imprisoned for 18 months on the 25th of August 1998 under the Printing Presses and Publication Act and Sedition Act. This case started in 1994 when an underage Malay girl was detained at the Bukit Aman lockup because she was alleged to have had sexual relations with a government leader. The girl's grandmother, Puan Pendek, sought help from Guan Eng. After all, Barisan Nasional leaders she met did not dare or were unwilling to defend her granddaughter's fate.
Dia orang tak berani campur. Tahu mana dia jadi ni hal, mana jadi hal saya sana sini pun saya tak tahu. Campur saya punya anak lah pergi jumpa baby lah.
Lim Guan Eng, together with the DAP Socialist Youth, immediately launched a series of public forums entitled Kisah, Benar throughout the country to highlight the plight of the underaged Malay girl. The public stance taken received overwhelming support, which ultimately led to Guan Eng being prosecuted in the court by the Barisan Nasional government. The then Attorney General, Datuk Mokhtar Abdullah, prosecuted Guan Eng under the Section 8A subsection 1 of the Printing and Publication Act and Section 4 subsection 1B of the Sedition Act. Guan Eng was said to have committed an offence when he alleged victim imprisoned, criminal free in a DAP pamphlet, and that the allegation was false. Guan Eng was also prosecuted for inciting hatred among the public towards the country's judicial system in a Kisah Benar public gathering in Malacca. The trial lasted for 3 years. On the 29th of April 1997, Guan Eng was found guilty on both allegations, and he was fined 15,000 ringgit. Both parties appealed to the Court of Appeal. Finally, the Court of Appeal set aside the 15,000 ringgit fine and substituted it with an 18-month jail sentence.
We are with you, God is with you. We are with you and God is with you.
DAP then launched the Sympathy, Support and Solidarity with Lim Guan Eng campaign throughout the whole country, while making the final appeal to the Federal Court. Many non-governmental organizations, politicians and concerned individuals publicly expressed their support for Guan Eng.
This is a wonderful place to be a politician in the ruling party. You can do anything, make any mistakes, yet to get re-elected.
Is law enforcement in Malaysia conducted without fear or favor?
Fongka is here to show our support. And of course, when I heard the outcome, it was very depressing because, like him, also I speak a lot.
And I want to apologize to Guan Eng for not being able to bring more women into the streets as judgment was passed. We need to come out and give that expression, and only then can we ensure that change will come around.
We need to remember that these laws, we still have to work in whatever way it takes. These laws have to go.
I don't want you to see you in prison. Unless you want to be a girl. I
I'm sure all of us present here will stand up and be counted with you, simply because we believe in the cause you stood for. Thank you.
Seolah-olah kes seperti yang dihadapi oleh saudara Lim Guan Eng merupakan satu kes yang bermotif politik. Dan inilah satu perkara yang saya rasa kita semua, tanpa kira kaum, tanpa kira agama, kita perlu bangun dan mempertikaikan perkara ini.
Guan Eng, rakan sepenahanku, rakan seperjuanganku, cuba mencari secebis kebenaran, bersabarlah, berikhtiarlah. Tidak siapa yang mengatakan perjuangan ini senang. Liku-liku hidup harus diharungi, ranjau-ranjau berbisa harus ditangani, sistem negara ini harus dikaji. Dan sekalian, ini semuanya adalah usaha-usaha kerajaan untuk menakutkan rakyat, mengukur rakyat, supaya mereka jangan memihak kepada parti-parti lain selain daripada parti pemerintah.
Lim Guan Eng sudah tentu dia tidak mengikut contoh Hang Tuah, kerana Hang Tuah menyerah diri segala-galanya. Tetapi bagi Lim Guan Eng, dia akan menentang ketidakadilan sampai bila-bila, insyaAllah.
Marina Mahathir, the eldest daughter of the former Prime Minister, was also dissatisfied with what had happened to the underage girl. She voiced her opinion through an article entitled "Whither Justice" on the 9th of November 1994 in the Star newspaper. Guan Eng's case also drew the attention and concern of the international community. The International Parliamentary Union, the Socialist International, the International Union of Socialist Youth, and Amnesty International passed various resolutions to support Guan Eng and question Guan Eng's trial. The police acted swiftly against the DAP when the campaign to support Guan Eng received overwhelming and unexpected support from the general public.
This is a close conference, but IGP has declared that this is unlawful and police have advised everybody to go home or they will be arrested.
Saya mengumumkan bahawa ini adalah satu perhimpunan yang tidak ada mempunyai komit dan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan dinasihatkan supaya bersurai mulai sekarang.
Itu ni dah baik.
That the freedom to comment on a matter of public concern without fear or favor is an integral part of the duty of an MP. And it is for that reason that when a member of parliament exposes an injustice, he is in fact discharging the solemn oath of office he is sworn before he takes his seat in parliament.
By the Law Reform, Marriage and Divorce Act 1976, Section 10, a girl between 18 to 21 can get married with parental consent. But a girl who has completed her 16th year but is not yet 18 can only get married by special license of the Chief Minister. By this section, we can see then how the law, in its anxiety to protect young girls, has appointed the Chief Minister of her state to a supra-paternal role, trusting a Chief Minister even more than the father when it comes to young girls and marriage and of course its attendant sex.
Just 4 words. Victim in prison, criminal free. He is charged under the Printing Presses and Publications Act. False news. False news only with regard to victim in prison, but criminal free, no charge against it. So that news is not false. Ridiculous.
The sacrifice of Guan Eng will let the Malaysian people know more about the truth of his case. In 2 days' time, it will be August the 25th, Malaysian Women's Day. Tomorrow, Lim Guan Eng will be facing the final judgment of his appeal. If Lim Guan Eng is sentenced to imprisonment tomorrow, what is there to celebrate about Malaysian Women's Day? Maybe Lim Guan Eng cannot be saved, but Lim Guan Eng's spirit must be kept alive.
If I go to prison, I go to prison for helping a Malay to prove that we are Malaysians.
Unfortunately, even this support failed to save Guan Eng. On the 25th of August 1998, the federal court rejected Guan Eng's appeal and maintained the jail sentence of 18 months imprisonment.
From 15,000 ringgit to 3 years jail has been further heightened by the federal court decision.
It was a shock to me, painful, especially for my family.
I was shocked of the decision. I do not understand why he has to be sentenced to jail. So I was very angry with the judgment.
DAP immediately launched a protest campaign.
勇敢向前行，正义最终会生长。勇敢向前行，就近的灵官营，爱你，在那黑暗里见到你，就近的灵官营。
Saudara Guan Eng is now in Kajang prison. We are here to share with him the loss of his personal liberty.
This campaign again received overwhelming support from the Malaysian society regardless of race and religion. This included former Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, who had just been sacked by Dr. Mahathir, and his wife, Datin Sri Dr. Wan Aziza. Anwar's support broke the racial barrier and created even stronger support from the Malay community.
Apa yang jadi dengan kita ini? Kalau timbalan Perdana Menteri boleh dibuat begini rupa.
Keadilan di Malaysia tidak mungkin ditegak dengan peraturan dan sistem tanpa reformasi. Yang kita tuntut sekarang bukan soal pribadi Anwar atau Guan Eng atau Airi, tapi kami merupakan contoh bagaimana sistem yang tidak adil bila terus bermerajalela, mangsanya boleh jadi orang besar, boleh jadi orang kecil, boleh jadi Melayu, boleh jadi Cina, boleh jadi India, rakyat akan menjadi mangsa sistem yang zalim dan tidak adil.
The 18-month period was the darkest for Guan Eng's family.
The visit in a prison is very unfriendly because the children cannot even touch their own father. So they are all being blocked by a mirror, in a transparent mirror, because you can't even speak to each other except through an intercom.
When my mother brought us to see Daddy, when I saw him for the first time, I cried immediately. At that time, when we tried to talk to my father across the glass wall, my father put his hand on the glass wall. My brother and I also put our hands on the glass wall, but we failed to feel each other's heartbeat. My brother and I tried to beat down the glass wall with our hands. We hit a long time. The glass remained unbroken, but our hands hurt. We could only see our father 30 minutes once a month. That 1 month was like a year for us. So we treasured that 30-minute meeting very much.
Actually, my family suffered a lot, especially my children. Especially when they are growing up, this was a very traumatic experience for them. And I do not know whether they are able to understand what are the scars they suffered during my spell inside. I only hope and pray that they have come out unscathed and they are stronger.
The 18-month period was the darkest for Guan Eng's family.
The visit in a prison is very unfriendly because the children cannot even touch their own father. So they are all being blocked by a mirror, in a transparent mirror, because you can't even speak to each other except through an intercom.
When my mother brought us to see Daddy, when I saw him for the first time, I cried immediately. At that time, when we tried to talk to my father across the glass wall, my father put his hand on the glass wall. My brother and I also put our hands on the glass wall, but we failed to feel each other's heartbeat. My brother and I tried to beat down the glass wall with our hands. We hit a long time. The glass remained unbroken, but our hands hurt. We could only see our father 30 minutes once a month. That 1 month was like a year for us. So we treasured that 30-minute meeting very much.
非常珍惜和爸爸相处的短短30分钟。
Actually, my family suffered a lot, especially my children. Especially when they are growing up, this was a very traumatic experience for them. And I do not know whether they are able to understand what are the scars they suffered during my spell inside. I only hope and pray that they have come out unscathed and they are strong.
Apa yang beliau cuba lakukan hanyalah untuk membantu saya.
Although Guan Eng sacrificed so much for the 15-year-old girl, the subsequent events were particularly heartbreaking and regretful for him.
I was upset. I was angry. Now, despite her betrayal, I want to say this, that there's a larger issue at stake. A question of women's rights, a question of rule of law, and a question of whether it is moral or not moral for a rape victim to be detained instead of being protected.
According to Malaysian law, Lim Guan Eng was disqualified as Member of Parliament and lost his right to contest in an election. He was also barred from holding any post in a political party and society for 5 years after his release from prison. Although Guan Eng did not hold any political post, he continued to serve the people and the DAP.
I share a vision, the same vision that the DAP has, that we can make Malaysia better, stronger, faster, richer and fairer to everyone. But we only deserve better if we fight for these rights. Rights and liberties and freedoms are never given to us. We must struggle for it.
The 25th of August 2004 was a historical day as Guan Eng regained his political and civil rights, and he once again has the opportunity to serve and contribute to the people and the nation. Lim Guan Eng's case is a very important event in the history of DAP's struggle for human rights and justice, regardless of race and religion. The struggle has not ended yet. Hopefully, the fighting spirit of Guan Eng will be a symbol and beacon of hope for all Malaysians.
Sim.